Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. In your life, have you ever seen such smart, beautiful women? What a lineup. I'm so honored to be here. What a
But I'm
morning.
going to point right back at you guys.
That's nice. We're very honored to have you here. Dr. Coley, let us start today with monkeypox. A lot of you have been asking. There have been about 3,000 cases in the U.S. It's spreading more and more into cities. Over the weekend, the World Health Organization declared it a global health emergency. Is that COVID? Is that pandemic? What does that mean, and how worried? Again, 1 to 10. 10, I'm leaving to go to Mars with Elon Musk.
Oh, with Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably about a 6.5 or 7.
Oh.
Because, you know, since 2009, the World Health Organization has only declared 7 things this level. So this means, wake up, guys. We got to pay attention. We need more resources. We need more attention. It's starting to spiral out of control. Now, the most recent one that they declared, of course, was the COVID-19 pandemic. This is not at that level yet.
Okay.
But it could certainly get there. And that's what they're trying to raise an alarm about.
Well, here's the thing, because a lot of the reporting is focusing on gay and bisexual men.
Yes.
So does that mean that it can't affect everyone? And do you think this type of characterization means people aren't taking it as seriously as we should?
Yes, we've got the messaging wrong again. This is the same mistake we made with HIV in the 1980s when we said it's a gay disease only, and now look, it's in every population. So it just happened by chance that this is spreading in the homosexual community, but it could very well have been in the heterosexual community. And now, in fact, just the last few days, we've seen 2 cases in kids from transmission. So it could happen to anyone, and I think this messaging that it's only the gay community that needs to be vaccinated, only the gay community that's at high risk, is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it's impeding our ability to control it, and pretty soon it's going to get out of control.
Yeah, and then it's a distraction. Let's talk about another concern in America, the obesity epidemic, okay? So according to the CDC, I didn't know this, a whopping 42% of America falls into this category. That is more than 140 million Americans. And for so long, obesity was considered this personal failure, right? Meaning people were not eating right or exercising right. Dr. Coley, what does science say about that? Is it a personal failure?
No, and I am so glad we've finally gotten to acknowledge that, because people kept thinking they're doing something wrong. Now, there's so many factors that go into being obese. People don't choose to be heavy or obese or fat. Sometimes it's biological factors. So It could be your genetics, it could be your metabolism, it could be conditions like hypothyroidism. If your thyroid is not as active, your metabolism slows down. It could be system-related factors like your access to good food. You know, if you've got to work all day, don't have time to exercise, that could be implicating it. If you don't have enough money to buy food, or eating processed food instead. So I think we really need to stop making it a personal problem and start thinking of it as a disease that is a result of system-related factors, biology, and that's how we can address it head on.
Well, let's cut to the chase, because first of all, I have a real problem with the word obese, because growing up, I was told that I was borderline obese, but I was aesthetically seemingly underweight. And my parents were basically like, we don't trust the doctors. We don't trust whatever this is happening, because we can look at our child and say, this child is not obese. So is this something that's considered a serious health risk if you are considered obese, and how are you considered obese?
I think what you're pointing at, Erica, is the definition of obese. The way we define it in medicine is flawed, because we use your weight and your height and that's it. And it doesn't matter if it's muscle, it doesn't matter if your frame is different size, it's a flawed definition. So let's acknowledge that and put that over here for now. The definition is flawed, because you could have a lot of muscle and be obese but not actually be unhealthy.
Right.
But if you are obese because of excess fat or the distribution of that fat, that is an independent risk factor for heart disease. And a lot of people say, well, I went to my doctor and they told me I'm perfectly healthy. You could be healthy today, and the American College of Cardiology has published data that just being obese with excess fat means that down the line you have a 49% higher risk of heart disease tomorrow or in the next decade, even if you're healthy today and obese.
Wow.
Well, let's talk about the Big is Beautiful movement. So there's models, singers, a lot of celebrities that have talked about acceptance of being plus size. From a medical perspective, though, is this a good movement or something that you would say people should support more?
Well, you know, it started out with the best intentions because there was sizeism, there was discrimination based on weight, and people were getting judged because of their weight. So the idea that big is beautiful, I wholly embrace, because you can be beautiful at any size. But the idea that big is healthy is not correct. And we cannot conflate the two. We cannot say just because you're big, you're beautiful and healthy. Because being big doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy, and it could mean that you're at risk for developing cancer, developing heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, sleep apnea, all the things that come with having excess weight on you.
Wow, that's important to know.
What do you guys think, though, about
People
the
have tried to lose weight, though, like you said, and it's been things that they can't control. So what would be some solutions from the medical community when you kind of or think about those systemic factors that you talked about?
You know, I had a conversation with a patient just yesterday because we now have solutions. It's not all on you. It's not a personal failing. Some people just can't get the weight off. We have medications, injection medications that work great. In fact, one of my colleagues is a cardiologist who was very heavy. He injected himself with some stuff and now he looks very good.
Whoa.
Yeah, because he lost all this weight. And there's data that's come out that say that after people undergo medications or surgery for weight loss, they actually have a 50% higher chance of getting married the year after they undergo that. So we really now do have solutions where we can help people to be beautiful, to have higher self-esteem, and, you know, to have a healthy body weight. You don't necessarily have to just settle into the fact that this is my weight and I have to accept it for what it is.
Wow, that's so interesting. Or what about fat shaming? Because I know a lot of this happens, or this idea that if you express concern about someone's size, you're like a fat shamer. If you're like, I'm concerned about your health. What do you feel about that from a medical perspective? Has this whole body positivity thing gone too far?
You know, a little bit, yes. I'll be entirely honest with you, even as physicians, we're a little worried about being labeled that we're fat shaming. But I do want to say there's a difference between fat shaming, which has judgment, and which has blame. That is wrong. That is always wrong. And a difference between talking about your weight and getting you to a healthier weight, which is a medical conversation to have. So I think we need to move away from the fact that every conversation about weight is fat shaming, because as long as it doesn't have judgment or blame, and we're talking more about positive lifestyle changes that could lead you to be healthier, it is conversations we should be having. I have it with almost every patient that's overweight in my office, and I hope that you guys would feel empowered to have it with your family members as well if you're worried about their weight.
Well, I would agree that having a conversation doesn't necessarily automatically relate to shame. However, I think when a lot of people feel like it's none of anyone's business, and I think when we have these conversations, you know, about how we feel about it, I look at the examples in my life, and I have women, men in my life who would be considered obese, who have lived to 90 years old with very few medical complications. And I think a lot of people look around at examples in their life about, well, these people live perfectly happy, healthy lives. They do get married. They have families. They're, you know, incredible people. So I think there's this disconnect between what we're saying, or what you're saying from the medical community, and what we're seeing sometimes in our own lives. So how do you feel about people saying that it's really no one else's business?
I mean, to some extent, you're right. As a doctor, I feel like it's always my business.
Yeah, right,
so
right.
I have that privilege compared to you guys. But I do think there's a spectrum of risk, and I do think everybody's on a different part of the spectrum. But I do think educating people is the key. And the way that you bring it up is also very important. So you're right. It depends on which circle. You wouldn't go up to a stranger and say, I'm worried about your weight. But I think if it's your significant other or family member, you're doing them a disservice by not talking about it rather than bringing it up.
Or say, go to Dr. Coley. She'll talk about it. You know,
put it on me.
Yeah, put it on the doctor. Because you're right. As a doctor, it's all your business. That's your business. Thank you so much for everyone writing in. I really appreciate that. And if you have a question you would like to ask Dr. Coley, of course, write us on social media or email info@dailyblastlive.com. Thank you so much for being here. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Sports Illustrated model Hunter McGrady. She tells us what it was like modeling after pregnancy. And it was a brutal night of rejection on The Bachelorette. How the season's new twist is backfiring bad.
Closed captioning provided by
every day.
Because a lot of people at home are
Hey Taylor, we're
guaranteed
talking
things.
here about Bachelorette. This is Karen from Winnipeg. Je speak le français, oui. C'est vrai. Anyway, apparently there's two Bachelorettes.
Two Bachelorettes this season, and it didn't go according to plan. So Gabby, one of the Bachelorettes.
Of course it didn't go to plan, too.
Right, they're dating the same pool of guys.
Yeah,
and so Gabby was sitting down with 3 different guys. They all said they want to go for the other girl.
Oh, man,
But then get
Gabby.
this, there's a twist. At the end, the other girl also gets rejected 3 times.
Thank you.
So you can mention that.
Say that again.
Smile.
She's from Winnipeg,
I'm not from Sweden.
I know. My Swedish and my Canadian are very similar.
We're not from Sweden.
How you going?
Don't talk like this, you know.
So wait, say at the very end, you said Gabby.
So the
at
other
the end,
girl.
Yeah.
Got a mouthful of husband.
Sorry.
You're fine.
The other girl, she was giving out her roses.
Yeah.
And 3 guys rejected her.
Oh, okay.
So you want to add that?
Can I be honest? Rejection is something I'm very familiar with. If you're an actress in any stand-up or any kind of person in the industry, even like producing, rejection is something you get extremely
How about
used to.
public rejection?
Oh, I'm used to that as well.
Okay.
Every day on the
so
show.
we want to talk about public rejection, being rejected in front of a whole group of guys, in front of Bachelor Nation,
in front of the TV.
in front of the TV.
Yeah, I gotta say, if you take the sting out of rejection in terms of how bad it is, in terms of what you feel self-esteem wise, it's not that bad. You just have to remove all feeling and self-esteem issues.
And being on stage, you have to steel yourself, right?
Yeah, that's
so
bad.
Should these bachelorettes then just steel themselves to the fact that these guys are
Not interested. Oh god.
All right, I think that's it's kind of becoming.
Welcome back. All right, things did not go according to plan on last night's episode of The Bachelorette. As we've mentioned, this season, there are 2 women who are dating the same group of men. What could go wrong? Well, Gabby found out the hard way when multiple men told her they were more interested in the other Bachelorette, Rachel. Let's take a look at this.
You know, I just felt like a really good connection with Rachel, like amazing one.
You know, I do have my intentions fully for Rachel. A little bit more like, I don't say rough around the edges, but
say if you were the only person here, I don't think I could have the heart to continue.
Rough around the edges. Both of you. Lindsay, first of all, what do you think of that? And then also, how do you handle rejection? Erica's face is so funny. What do you think about rough around the edges?
Not rough around the edges.
I know. No. Linz, what do you think?
Well, in the conversations in the group chats that I'm in with my sister and my mom who love this show, 2 bachelorettes was just a bad idea to start with. So this whole thing is a disaster that we're watching unfold like everybody who loves the show thought was going to happen.
It happened.
But I definitely got rejected before. I was telling Erica in the break, like I walked over to a guy's house when I was in middle school, dropped off a letter saying, do you want to be my boyfriend? And he showed the whole school. Oh. But you know what happened? When I got to college, he started trying to come back in my life, and I was like, oh no, boo-boo. We're on the up and up, and you on the down and down, okay? We have nothing in common. 2 different tracks. You can go do your way, and I'll go my way. So I think she has to just keep doing her, and you know what I mean? Life just happens a funny way like that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it really kind of points out the flaw of like reality dating shows, because what are the true chances that you're going to find the soulmate based on a casting decision of like 30 guys that happen to be available that week or 5? Yeah, I got rejected much older. This was in between, like after my divorce, and I learned a very important lesson about what has happened in the 10 years that I was not on the market. Apparently, it's just very casual. It wasn't like I was trying to marry the man or anything, but I was like, I assumed that we would like
set some ground rules.
Yeah, right.
And it was very like, no, that's done. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, well,
Tori, I know you have a funny story because you're looking like you're dying to say it.
No, because I remember that feeling too. If you're like, is this wrong? Oh, if you're an actress, by the way, or a host or stand-up, rejection is part of it, right? Like we've all been rejected so many times. But I did date the guy in 4th grade behind me at the house, and he called over my best friend and in front of both of us said, I'm picking the Lauren, not you, because she plays soccer and you don't.
You guys should have both taken the option off the table. Like, we're both not an option, okay?
Me and Lauren then date him?
After asking me, and I dated Lauren's ex, all in 4th grade. So it was a nice little soap opera
Souffle
moment.
of petty, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah. It was all spite. It was all for spite. But rejection, really, I learned after being rejected. I've had hundreds of voiceover auditions. I haven't heard back from one. And I really did learn very quickly that if you take out the rejection with a capital R, it's just another thing. It's just another obstacle. You don't have to take it so personally. It doesn't have to be such a burden. You can get rejected and it doesn't have to hurt so bad. So that's what I've learned because I've had it happen so many times. Coming up on DBL, Sports Illustrated model Hunter McGrady stopped by where she almost gave up on modeling with her dreams. Coming up next.
Since 1994, Skittles has been telling candy consumers to taste the rainbow. But a recently filed lawsuit says a more accurate slogan is taste the toxic. The plaintiff claims the colorful confection contains unsafe levels of titanium dioxide based on findings by the European Food Safety Authority and a subsequent ban by the European Commission. This led to viral headlines like these that suggest people could damage their organs by eating the candy. So, let's verify. Is titanium dioxide, an ingredient in Skittles, banned in Europe? Our sources are Skittles maker Mars Inc., the Food and Drug Administration, the European Food Safety Authority, the European Commission, and Norbert Kaminsky on ingredient safety. Titanium dioxide is commonly used as a whitener in foods like whipped cream or coffee creamer, and a check of a bag of Skittles from the office vending machine confirms Skittles contains titanium dioxide. Last year, European officials decided to ban the sale of food containing the ingredient in the EU. The European Commission gave food makers until August 7th of this year to discontinue using titanium dioxide. So, yes, titanium dioxide, an ingredient in Skittles, is banned in Europe. In the US, the FDA says titanium dioxide is safe to eat, as long as it makes up less than 1% of the total weight of the food. Kaminsky tells Verify that more in-depth studies are needed to determine whether long-term exposure to titanium dioxide poses any risk.
Toxicity obviously is always going to be dependent on the amount you're exposed to. So water would be toxic, salt would be toxic, and as toxicologists often say, that the dose makes the poison.
Mars declined to discuss the ongoing lawsuit with Verify, but told us the amount of titanium dioxide in Skittles complies with FDA regulations. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Earlier, we sat down with model Hunter McGrady, who has been an activist for curvy women and real bodies since Sports Illustrated launched her career in 2017. Since then, she's become a mother, fashion designer, and podcaster. Check it out.
Hi, you guys.
Hey,
oh my gosh, it's so funny to see me in studio.
Yes, you're here.
You look terrific. So Hunter, this year marks your 5th year in Sports Illustrated Swim, which is crazy. Congratulations. How was this shoot different for you than past years?
Oh my gosh, well, this was quite a bit different, mainly because I was just shy of 6 months postpartum. Wow. I had just had my first baby, and I got asked to do the issue by MJ, who is the editor-in-chief of the Swim issue. She had texted me, she was like, listen, say no. I know you're in the throes of being a first-time mom. You have a newborn, but we would love you to kind of, be in the issue and represent, moms everywhere. And I was like, say no more. I'm there. This is what I'm all about. And it was incredible.
That picture's very cute too, by the way.
Oh my God, amazing. And I love that because that's always the conversation, not always the conversation, but a lot of women feel, some level of fear getting back into a swimsuit after having a baby. So I love that you're representing, you're talking about it. But let's talk about body image because it's something everyone deals with in some way, one way or another. Were you ever told that maybe modeling wasn't in the cards for you? How were those conversations?
Oh my gosh. Completely. So I come from a background of entertainers. My mom was a model. My dad's still currently an actor. So I grew up knowing I wanted to model. And when I first started out in this business, I was about a size 2. And I was always told by every agency, anytime I showed up on set, unfortunately, you're great, but you have to lose weight. You have to lose weight. You have to lose weight. And I was 114 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall. So it looks very different than the way I look now. Yeah. And I just thought, well, I literally can't lose any more weight. I was already in such a awful mental health space. I was dieting at just, 15, 16 years old. I was working out like crazy. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to hang it up then. And about 5 years later, I learned about plus size modeling, and I gave it a go. And right away I started working. It was kind of like confirmation that I was exactly where I needed to be all along.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of plus size modeling, a former America's Next Top Model contestant claimed she was called plus sized by the judges when she was just a size 2. So I know there's a lot to unpack there, but what is the term that you would prefer? And is there ever a time where that could be seen as insulting?
It's funny, when I first started out in this business, I was like, don't call me plus size, don't label me. But then as I started saying that on talk shows and on interviews, so many women messaged me and they were like, wait, girl, first off, this is the reason you're in this spot and you should be proud of it. And I really had to hone in. They're absolutely right. And I am dang proud of it. Like, I am plus size and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Along with that title. And it's funny that I know that she had tweeted that because, again, going back to my story, at a size 2, I was told to lose weight as well. And here in New York City, if you're a size 6, that's where our plus size boards, as far as modeling agencies, start at. Which is crazy.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, that kind of leads to my question. I want to know, if you could tell everybody one thing, what is everybody, the general public, getting wrong about plus size women?
I think a lot of people, we've been so conditioned to automatically equate weight to health. And yes, there's a lot of times where those two things correlate, but not always. And I think a lot of times people comment on my posts being like, oh, you're promoting obesity and this is a health risk, health problem. But my medical records say otherwise. You know what I mean? That's the thing is I've been also, again, a size 2 where I was the most unhealthy. I mean, I bruised like a peach. I was always tired. I had dark circles under my eyes. So really that is such a stigma that I wish would just change completely.
Well, you're helping break that stigma. We're so proud of you. Thank you so much for joining us, Hunter.
Congrats on year 5.
All the work you're doing. Exactly. Congratulations. DBL Nation, make sure you listen to Hunter and her sister's podcast, The Model Citizen, and check out Hunter's clothing collection, All Worthy, which is launching Intimates on QVC August 6th. That's a lucky day. That's my birthday. We'll be right back. Congratulations.
Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Awesome. Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Americans in many parts of the country are used to temperatures above 100 degrees. Brits, not so much. This month, temperatures in the UK surpassed 40 degrees Celsius, or 104 degrees Fahrenheit, for the first time in the recorded history of that nation. And when extreme weather records get broken, other stuff tends to break too. One airport in London briefly had to shut down a runway because of a defect that they said was a result of the high heat. And British press reported a military runway was also shut down because the asphalt had melted. As many folks on social media pointed out, you don't exactly see that every day, even though there are plenty of airports in much hotter parts of the world. So is this even a real thing? Can hot weather damage asphalt runways? Let's verify. Our sources are London Luton Airport, the FAA, and Manik Barman, a professor of civil engineering at the University of Minnesota, who studies pavement infrastructure. Asphalt is made up of a mixture of sand, rock, and a binder made of a sort of oil-based tar. Now, the sand and rock, that doesn't melt, not unless you heat it to 1,000 degrees or more, but the binder melts at much lower temperatures. That's kind of the whole point. To pave asphalt into a runway, it gets heated, usually to about 270 degrees, and the binder becomes a liquid. Then, as it cools down, it becomes a solid that you can drive on. Now, hot weather alone won't get asphalt up to 270, but since it's dark and retains heat, when air temperatures hit 100 degrees, an asphalt surface can get to over 150 degrees, and that can be hot enough to cause the sort of damage that forces runways to shut down.
Basically, we are talking about the softening, like it becomes soft enough so that if little bit amount of load is applied, you can see an imprint, or we call it plastic deformation, a deformation that doesn't rebound back.
And that's likely what happened with some runways in the UK. As London Luton Airport said, there was a deformation in their pavement. And in fact, this is something the airport itself identified as a potential problem in an environmental report in 2019. It said, quote, increased summer temperature and increased winter temperature variability has the potential to cause damage to the tarmac and asphalt. So we can verify, yes, hot weather can damage asphalt surfaces such as airport runways. But why did this happen in London and not, say, Phoenix, where temperatures regularly far exceed what Britain is seeing? The answer is that there are different grades of asphalt binder that are able to withstand different temperatures. The FAA told Verify American runways typically use pavement that can withstand temps up to 169 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's simply never gotten that hot in the UK before.
Maybe 10 years down the line, what is happening this week, we will not say these are record temperature, so we should be prepared in every infrastructure.
With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Welcome back. When the temperatures start creeping up, heat safety can be a major concern. So here are some tips on what to do when a heat wave hits, sponsored by Sunsetter. First, stay hydrated. It's important when enjoying life outside, but you should really try to stay inside between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. because that's when temperatures are at their highest. But if you're going to go outside, wear light, loose, breathable clothing that will help you stay cool. And if you plan on working out, let someone know and be sure to stay in the shade. With affordable custom features without the custom price, Sunsetter is America's #1 best-selling awning. Spend more time outside and get the best value with Sunsetter. It's been an industry leader for 30 years. Call 1-800-513-6851 or visit sunsetter.com for guaranteed pricing on American-made awnings built to last. Also, real quick, we have some sad news. Tony Dow, who was Wally Cleaver, died at 77 today. And we just wanted to give a lot of love and light to his family and know that he was an icon in television history and in our pop culture. So we are wishing his family well. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.